ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्.
So, hi friends, we are here with Muskaan, Navin Battas' daughter, and we did discuss with Navin ji about the experience that he had when Muskaan was 9 years old and he wanted to know more about his mother who had passed away. So, Muskaan is with us, and Muskaan, thank you for speaking to us first. And what is it that you do, Muskaan? Studying, working?
Yeah, I'm studying. Now I'm studying, and now I'm 21 years
Okay.
old. How that?
Yeah. And we're talking about the fact when you were 9 years old. So we need to kind of go back in the memory lane. So, Muskan, what do you remember at that young age of 9?
Not much, I have to be honest, but of course, if you talk about the specific incident, then I do
Yeah.
remember quite some. But yeah, I have faint memories. Let's say it like that.
Yes, of course. But through that faint lens, can you tell us something about the time when your dad asked you some questions? I think he said that he took you in the room
Yeah,
and then put a clock on the wall, is what he says. And then he made you sit and ask some questions to you.
yeah, that's true. But so because I think few days before that or few weeks before that, I was like, I was seeing my daddy. I think this sounds so weird, but it's really not. But I was like, I remember I was taking a shower and I was in, like I was like in a tub and we were 9, so the door used to be open because then my mom needs to come or something, you know. So I was taking a shower and I remember like the door was open and I just see like something that just passed by like this through the door. So that was I think the first time when I saw her. I was not sure if it was her, but I do remember like before when my daddy was ill, she would wear like this certain green color suit, let's say. So I very well remember that I saw only this green color suit and a lady passed by in that suit. So I think that was the first time I saw her. And then I ran to my mom, and then my mom was, of course, like, ah, nothing, it's fine. I think so, at least. And I think that was the first time I saw her. And then I told my dad about it. And I think then my dad was very much into it.
Mm.
And that's how, after that, I saw her 1, 2 times more. And I think
So
that's
can you
how
tell
we,
us those one, two times more? Where did you see
yeah.
her? And how did she appear? Did she appear in a green suit every time?
Yeah, I don't remember all the times, but I do remember the bathroom time for sure because that was my first time. And then there was this other time. So those days we had those computers, like the desktop computers.
Hmm.
So we had like two rolling chairs, and so I was sitting on one chair. I was on the computer like the whole time, and so one chair was of course me sitting on it, and
Hmm.
the other chair was like a bit behind me. So it
Hmm.
was just like behind me, and then I was on the computer, and as soon as I turned back, I swear I really know that I saw her, and the chair was moving like a bit like when a moving chair just bit
Hmm.
turns,
Hmm.
it was moving, and that time also she wore green. I remember very well, and I really saw her like face, like of course it was not like a real person sitting in front of you.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so weird to say, but a bit like a faint image of someone on the chair,
Huh.
and the chair was a bit moving.
Huh.
And then I remember I got so scared, so I ran to my mom and my sister. I think they were in the living room, and yeah, then I told them, and then I don't remember after that much. But
Hmm.
yeah, that was my second incident. But that time I was 100% sure it was her. Like I was very sure. And yeah, after that, then I was telling my dad about it and everything, and yeah, that's how it started, and that's how I think my dad wanted to connect with her. Let's say like that.
Yeah. So Muskan, when they appear, were you thinking of her and so she appeared, or anything like, as if your mind was wanting to see her and so she appeared, or she just appeared out of nowhere?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I mean, if you take a shower, not necessarily you are going to think. And we were young, I think
Yeah.
that moment you don't really know what death is. And I remember when my dadi passed away, my nani was in with us.
Hmm.
So also we were not told like yeah, that your dadi passed away like that. 9 years old, my sister was even younger. So I
Huh.
think that moment you don't really understand. And yeah, I don't really think I was thinking about her. No,
So
no.
she was actually just appearing, maybe for your
Yeah,
father, because he wanted a signal. And so
yeah,
the best person that a signal could come through is maybe a child. And you
yeah,
were also somebody who could voice it.
yeah. Maybe
And
I,
so that's why she came to you. So how much time later did she make this appearance or the visitation?
I really honestly do not remember. It was just one random. I, yeah, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
when
not.
she passed away and then she made the first visitation, what was the gap? Remember that?
No, but maybe it's not very long. I think. I'm sure. I think a month or something, or maybe
Maybe a
even.
month. Right.
Yeah, maybe even less. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay. And so when your dad took you to that room and was asking you questions,
uh,
do you remember some of the questions and the answers that you gave, if you can
yeah. I do
recollect?
remember. I do
Okay,
remember it. Like I
please.
just remember this one particular day. But if I think about it now, I also think like, yeah, was it just my consciousness or something? Because you really don't know that. And like I really didn't, for instance, because my dad was also like, yeah, is this really happening? So he also
Huh.
told me to ask her like his school, and I really did not know my dad's school.
Hmm.
I know, but it just the I don't remember exactly, but I just know that the answer came in my head or something, or like yeah, just that I said it loudly. I remember, and then I think there was a gap of 2 3 minutes or something, and then like just an answer came in my head, or like yeah, don't remember that exactly. And then I told my dad, and he was like, "Yeah, that's my school."
Hmm.
And I think same with the time because I remember the watch was like on my left side. The clock was on my left side. It was on the wall, and I was sitting like here, like exactly how I'm sitting now. And the clock, for
Hmm.
instance, was here on the wall,
Hmm.
and yeah, I was just sitting, and he had told me to ask the time, and I do remember that I did see her looking at the clock. Yeah,
Ah.
I think at least I think so, but I do think yeah, I remember very vaguely, but because the clock was really like I got the time like exact time,
Ah.
like not like 12, like rounding it up, but the exact time. So yeah, that I do remember, and I also remember that she walked like my dad was lying on the bed because I think it
Hmm.
was very adventurous for him. So he was lying on the bed and just asking questions. And I remember, like, I told her, like, go touch my dad so that he can see that you are here. So she went. There was a bed, no? So she went around the bed and she even touched him. I really remember that, and yeah, but my dad, of course, he did not feel anything. So yeah, and then
And
she
do you,
asked him,
do you remember where she touched him? Which part of the body? A head, his head, face, shoulder,
I'm not sure. I think his head,
his
yeah, or
head,
hand.
hand,
I'm
hand or
I'm not
head.
yeah
Okay.
sure.
So,
Yeah,
did you tell your dad there she is touching you? Can you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
her?
I was
Huh.
saying, I was like, look, she's touching. And then my father was like, no, I don't feel anything. I said, I don't know, but she's touching. But I could see, yeah, but yeah,
Hmm.
that was it.
Wow. And so, what else did your dad ask you, and how? Anything else you remember?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, that's it. And I think she was also with a friend of hers. And I remember her friend was wearing a bit yellow color or something like that.
Uh huh.
Yeah, but this is really my faint memory. But I like these are just some few incidents I remember. But yeah, I do remember she was with someone, and she was quite happy. I think because she was also saying like because my dad was just wanting to ask her if she's okay, if she's this and that. So I also asked her. I just asked basically what my dad said to us. So yeah, and then she was just happy. I think, and yeah, she also said that, yeah, I'm fine now and I have made a new friend. I really, this sounds really like unreal, but
Yeah.
this was really the conversation sort of I had with her. And like, I think these are few things you don't forget.
Yes, you
So,
can't forget because you can't make it up.
no, no, no,
After so many years, you can't say the same thing again. You'll add
no,
something else to it, but that's not possible.
yeah,
Exactly how you saw it and experienced is what you're telling us.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, even sometimes when I say to my friends, they don't believe it, but I am so 100% sure that this happened. And
Hmm.
yeah, and then that was this room incident. And after the room incident, I think I then saw her maybe one time or two times more. But yeah, then that was it. And then I
Hmm.
never saw her. And I also like because we live in Oman, right? So I only
Hmm.
saw her in my Oman house
Hmm.
because my daddy and my granddaddy they live in Bhopal. So when we
Hmm.
used to go for vacation,
Hmm.
I never saw her in that house. Never.
Okay.
Yeah. But I only saw her in my Oman house. So I think she also liked that house better. No,
Yeah,
I'm not
she
sure.
liked the house better, and maybe
Yeah.
y'all were there. Her
Yeah.
son was there, you were there, and the kids
True.
were there. Yeah, maybe that's
Because
why.
my dad does say though that because I was the firstborn child, they really wanted a child, and then I was the firstborn, and my daddy really was fond of me, let's say like that.
Hmm.
So I think maybe that's why. Yeah, and my sister was very young; she was I think at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So after these initial experiences, did you kind of push it away? Did you get scared that I don't ask me anything about Dadi, I don't want to say anything? Or did you call her again maybe and say, Dadi, please come back. Maybe I
no.
need help in school, or maybe I need help with my exams. Can you please come and help me?
No, I did not call her back, but I remember my dad was also angry with me because he really wanted, I think, to speak with her or something. I don't know, but I was after that incident, I was scared because I was also not sure, like, am I really seeing her or is this how is this working anymore? So that was my point. So then I was also like, yeah, okay, I cannot. I think I was scared then, and
Hmm.
because also like I remember after that, like I don't remember really exactly, but I do remember I once saw her like passage, like a
Hmm.
hallway. So
Hmm.
then I got really scared, because we're still like seeing someone. So I think then I told my dad, I'm not going to do this anymore. And this, and I remember my dad was angry with me. But yeah, then it stopped. I think after that it stopped. Then I never saw her again.
Right. So, do you believe, Muskan, after this experience, there is life after death?
I believe very much. I really believe. So
Lovely.
yeah, I do, and it's really weird because a lot of people don't. But I have a belief, yeah, for sure. It is very interesting indeed.
Yes. So, thank you, Muskan, for speaking to
Oh, no,
us, and all the best, my dear. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice
Thank you.
So things were like were started going into the other direction. Things were not happening in the office, so things were stress was piling up, and then I started really thinking whether I should go back or not now. So things were really not moving in the right direction. And in 2009 May, when my family, when I looked at my family, I always thought, no, I'll not check up a job. And conventional wisdom says unless you have a job, another job in hand, you should never give up the one you are
One in the
already.
hand, yeah, correct.
So, but things were not going in the right direction, and I had decided I will not succumb to any pressure from any quarter. And I said I'll check up. And when the day they left for India, they landed in India, and I told them I have resigned. I've got 3 months, so you can enjoy your holidays, come back, live last few weeks in Oman, and then
Then
we
we
go
go
back.
back.
And I don't have anything in hand, and we'll stay in Bhopal. We will see what next. Everybody known to me were, they did support my decision, but they cautioned me that I'm taking the wrong. I said, okay, that's fine. It's my life. I checked up my job, came back in 2009 August, and I was totally at peace. I was doing nothing at home, and I had decided I will not do anything. I will see what life holds for me in times to come, and I, I became a recluse, uh, but I was at peace, totally at peace, no remorse at all. The kids, they adapted very well. They were living a very fine life, and all of a sudden, and I never, saw them or went and went to their school or attended their parents teacher meeting. That close to 1 year, I used to every day drop them off to their school. I was taking interest in what they were doing, and then life carried on. And then one fine day in February of 2010, my ex bosses and I got in touch with them. I said, see, I've been here for 5 6 months, not things are not working out. Is there anything open for me? They said, you come back, we'll take you. You won't believe. I got there back on July 2010, and since then I'm here. I went back on much better terms. Everything which we probably was missing in my earlier job came back to me in this job. And I'm here now since 2010 in my the second stint. So the message what she gave me was to go back. Realize there were certain personal realizations during 6 8 months which I was in. Now that is between me and my God. So obviously, but that were very very critical for me. That disconnect which I had to take the decision of going back was so important. When I look back, it strengthened my resolve to live my life on my own terms, um, connect with the divine, and constantly seek his guidance. So that is the reason she was telling me to go back. And I got whatever I got back was double what I was, getting earlier. So in all respects, the message was clear and it was in my favor. And I now have, in fact, till date, I get her in my dreams. And the only thing I wonder is how is it possible she can live so long on without any treatment? Now this is, and it's still it's there in my subconscious mind. I couldn't imagine like, she was so frail after the first year, and then the day she recovered. So, so everything is fine, and the message and the moral of the story was that yes, it was for my own betterment that I had to go back and then come back here again. It changed the way I used to work and think, or think and work.
So did you do anything? Did you do some meditation? Did you read any books during this period? Did you reflect, introspect? Because there was a huge shift. Like you said, you got double of what you had, what you were getting, and you got a better pay and a better job and a better, status. So, वो 5 महीने आपने क्या किया exactly? Did you do anything?
Well, I had a zero faith system prior to this period. I absolutely was. I never had any faith on any system. Even though I can see Ramana Maharishi photo next to you, and I used to read him in my school days. All of a sudden, that came back, and obviously the leading light in this was Sai Baba. I have never been to Shirdi till then, and I used to laugh at people going to temples. For me, that was something which was more cosmetic. But then I changed. It changed the way I used to look at things, and I became a believer once again. And I could develop a faith system, which is still there, quite strong. And I think that is the biggest learning I had during those 5-6 months of living in Bhopal during that time. I think that faith system is very, very important for anyone to manage.
Can you tell us more about why faith is important? A lot of people may not have the faith system, or they may just be very flippant about it.
Well,
share your insights on faith and how important it is.
I lost my sister in 1989 under again a tragic circumstances. So that was again a jolt out of the blue, and I asked myself if life is so tentative, what's the point? Then you are all alone. You manage things and you take it as it comes. Since 89 to 2008, I lived like that. I stopped. Not that I had no faith, but it was very, it was something which was not strong to give me that comfort yet that I can look up to some divine wisdom. I was completely a non-believer. Not that but there was a thin, thread of faith which was still there. It had not totally snapped. And when I came back, then I went to Shirdi. Just out of, I had nothing to do, so I said, let me go to Shirdi. And when I was at Shirdi, I bowed my head and I told Baba that, why don't you get me back to Oman? See, we are greedy. We always ask. That's the problem again, But I said, okay, since I have come, let me ask you. There's nothing to lose. When I was driving back, so suddenly, on the horizon, some mountains appear the way we have it in Oman. So that was a signal that something was coming up. And I came back home and I was doing some work, and suddenly there is a screen pops up on my Facebook Messenger, and then my ex-MD sends, Navin, we are happy to have you back, and get in touch with your boss, and he will give you the details. So that again, वो motivation मिलता है कि भाई that's okay. Somebody is hearing you and is granting you your wishes. So then things started unfolding, and I started working, and then I developed my own routine. Started worshipping Sai Baba regularly to draw that strength, and I still do. I'm not a formal, I don't do everything very formally, but there is a constant connect which is there with him. Now, regardless of good or bad, it is there, because in the initial days, it's a reward. When you pray, you expect something, but over a period of time, you realize that it's not about every time what you ask should come true. It is about your faith, how you can accept adversity. So now it's a, everything is in a state of equilibrium, as they say.
Wonderful. Wonderful. As there's a beautiful saying by Songyal Rinpoche, and he says that light must come from inside. You cannot ask the darkness to leave. You must turn on the light. And that's what you did. You just turned on the light of faith. Well, that's
My passion.
wonderful. I just hope you continue observing, exploring yourself further and further, because the mind is um, bottomless. It's
Yes.
so deep and so profound that the deeper and deeper you go, you just have so many different and varied experiences. So I hope and pray that you continue having amazing experiences and that your life is beautiful, wonderful, just the way possibly you want it to be. So thank you, Naveen, for sharing your wonderful experience, and it was truly enlightening. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for
Pleasure is
talking
mine.
to us. Thank you.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः